Okay, let's just be real for a second. If you are totally exhausted by modern financial hustle culture, you are absolutely not alone. Seriously, we are constantly bombarded with these loud messages telling us we need to juggle a dozen different budgeting apps, track every single penny in some massive complex spreadsheet, or, try to catch the latest crypto wave just to build wealth. It's completely overwhelming. But the source material for today's explainer presents a totally different, almost radically simple approach. Because here's the thing. Most people don't fail at money because they lack knowledge. They fail because their financial life is just way too complicated to manage consistently. So today, we are breaking down a blueprint for the minimalist, automated way to quietly acquire wealth. It's all about stripping away the friction so your money simply works for you in the background. So, the core problem we're facing right now really comes down to a choice between two completely different paths. On one side, you have the complicated way. This means juggling multiple apps, trying to stick to extreme budgeting, managing a scattered web of accounts, and, let's face it, often panic selling when the markets take a dip. Every single one of those things adds friction to your life, and friction quietly destroys wealth building because it requires constant, perfect discipline, which, let's be honest, literally none of us have all the time. But then you have the minimalist way. And this isn't about extreme frugality or living off rice and beans. It's just about removing unnecessary decisions. It's a fundamental shift from pure chaos to a smooth, automated system where you don't even have to think about making the right choice because the system just does it for you.
All right, let's dive into Pillar 1, streamlining your accounts.
To build this whole system, the author actually breaks the blueprint down into 4 key pillars. So let's start by laying a really solid structural foundation. This very first habit is all about the power of the number 1. We are talking about radical reduction here. Okay, so the one account setup basically cuts right through all the noise of modern banking. You have exactly one checking account for your everyday spending and exactly one high-yield savings account for actually storing your wealth. And that is it. No more jumping between 6 different banking apps to chase a tiny fraction of a percent more in interest. No more confusion about where your money is supposed to go. When you limit your financial footprint to this super minimalist setup, you completely remove the mental gymnastics. Your income comes in, your savings are automatically pulled out, and your bills get paid. In this system, simplicity literally equals instant control. Building right on top of that structural foundation is our second habit. You've gotta flip the script. You see, most people try to save whatever happens to be left over at the end of the month, but come on, we all know there's usually nothing left. The minimalist approach flips this entirely on its head. You set an automatic transfer the very second your salary hits your account. You pay yourself first entirely automatically before you even have a chance to see that money sitting in your checking account. And even if it's a super small amount, you just do it. Why? Because consistency beats intensity every single time. It's not about making these huge, painful sacrifices. It's about building a quiet, unbreakable routine. Now, this structural foundation builds perfectly into our third habit, which brings us to the number 2. Just like we streamlined our bank accounts, we desperately need to streamline the plastic we carry around in our wallets. This is what we call the 2-card rule. You have one main credit card that you use for absolutely everything, and one backup card tucked away just in case of an emergency. Why only 2? Well, because less complexity means fewer mistakes. Think about it. When you have 6 different cards for 6 different cashback categories, you are way more likely to miss a payment, get hit with a late fee, or honestly just lose track of how much debt you're actually floating. 2 cards give you immense clarity and just far, far better control over your actual spending habits. Moving right along to Pillar 2, taming your daily spending. So with your accounts and cards totally streamlined, we really need to control the money that's flowing out of them. And this brings us to a massively impactful habit, the 24-hour rule. The rule is super simple. If a purchase is non-essential and it costs over a specific dollar amount that you've set for yourself, you must wait 24 hours before buying it. Now, this isn't about denying yourself the things you genuinely want. It's really just about killing the emotional impulse. Most impulse purchases completely die overnight. You sleep on it, and the next day you realize you don't actually need that random kitchen gadget or that expensive sweater. You don't necessarily lose the item, you just lose the emotional reaction that sort of tricked you into reaching for your wallet in the first place. Next up is the subscription cleanup. And look, we all fall into these traps, right? The forgotten streaming services, the apps we downloaded once and never opened again, the classic free trial that quietly converts to a $20 a month charge without us noticing. The minimalist habit here is to literally just sit down, pull up that one single checking account statement we talked about earlier, and ruthlessly cancel everything you don't actively use. Cutting these silent little leeches out of your financial life can instantly free up hundreds of dollars every single month, and it requires zero change to your actual lifestyle. And this actually leads us to a really fascinating concept the author presents, which is the capsule lifestyle. So you might have heard of a capsule wardrobe, right? It's a small collection of really versatile clothes that you love wearing. Well, this habit applies that exact same logic to your entire spending life. Instead of constantly paying a premium to try out and experiment with new things, you just lean into reliable routines. You repeat the meals you already know you love. You have your absolute go-to places to hang out. Less variety naturally equals less waste, which translates directly into more savings in your pocket. It's really about finding genuine joy in reliable quality rather than chasing exhausting, expensive novelty all the time.
Okay, on to pillar 3, automating your wealth growth.
So you've streamlined your accounts and you've tamed your daily spending. Now we get to shift over to the offensive side of the game, investing the boring way, completely without the stress of active management. The crucial point here is that the financial media basically wants you to believe you need to constantly outsmart the market, day trade, or dig up the next big tech stock. But the minimalist approach says the exact opposite. You use simple, broad index funds and you just contribute to them regularly. No trying to time the market, no guessing what the global economy is going to do next, and absolutely, positively, no panic selling when the news gets scary. There is a core philosophy at the absolute heart of minimalist investing, and it goes like this. Wealth is built by patience, not prediction. Really let that sink in for a second. You do not need a crystal ball to grow your money. You literally just need a system that automatically buys into the broader market month after month, year after year, and you need the patience to let compounding do all the heavy lifting for you. Now, while you let your investments sit quietly in the background, there is one active thing you should definitely do to grow your bottom line, and it only takes 60 minutes a year. It's called the annual bill negotiation hour. Once a year, you call up your phone provider, your internet company, or your insurance agent. You simply ask them for a better rate, and hey, if they won't give you one, you switch. We hear so much talk about grinding away at weekend side hustles, but this single hour of targeted, slightly uncomfortable effort often saves way more money than days spent trying to earn a little extra cash on the side. Finally, pillar 4, maintaining your minimal system. You've built this beautiful, low-friction machine. So how do you actually keep it running smoothly over the long haul? Well, it starts with the 60-second daily check. Every single morning, you do a lightning-fast scan of just 3 things: your checking balance, your savings balance, and your investments. That is it. You don't agonize over the numbers, you don't overthink market fluctuations. It's really just about building awareness. Because when you clearly see where your money is at the very start of the day, you naturally, almost subconsciously, start making better financial decisions as you go about your life. And the next maintenance habit is totally crucial for keeping your sanity. You have to stop multitasking your finances. Pick one financial goal, whether that's building up an emergency fund, paying off a specific high-interest debt, or hitting a certain investing milestone. Pick one and completely ignore the rest until that first one is finished. Focus creates speed, while distraction creates delay. When you scatter your extra money across 5 different goals, you end up feeling like you're getting absolutely nowhere. But when you attack one single goal with laser-focused minimalism, you actually crush it. We've covered quite a bit of ground today, and individually, some of these habits might feel incredibly small, almost a little too simple. But the author asks a really vital question here. What actually happens when you combine all 10 of these minimalist habits together? The ultimate payoff is essentially the end of financial chaos. You experience way less emotional spending because of that 24-hour rule. You make significantly fewer mistakes because you only have one main account and 2 cards to manage. Your savings and investing just happen automatically, entirely in the background. But honestly, the most important shift is your identity. Over time, you stop being someone who is trying to be good with money. Your actual identity changes. You just become someone who inherently is good with money, simply because your system doesn't even allow you to be anything else. I absolutely love this final thought from the source text. Wealth isn't always about earning more. Often, it's about leaking less. Think about it. A complicated system constantly leaks money through late fees, forgotten subscriptions, and impulsive stress spending. A minimalist system seals all those leaks right up, making it the absolute easiest way to grow your money without the constant agonizing stress. So what's your main takeaway from today's explainer? It's that consistency is far greater than intensity. Please do not walk away from this and try to implement all 10 of these habits by tomorrow morning. Doing that is just adding more friction, which is exactly what we are trying to avoid in the first place. Just start with one habit. Maybe it's doing the subscription cleanup tonight, or maybe it's just setting up that one automated transfer for your next payday. Master that one, and then naturally move to the next.
And hey, if the habit you want to start with today happens to be investing the boring, consistent way, the author actually provides a really great starting point for that. You don't need a fortune to begin. You can start putting your money to work today on GoTrade. You can invest in major US stocks like Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla, and you can start with literally just one single dollar. If you're interested, you can use the referral code 386990 at heygotrade.com to get your own automated wealth machine running today.
So we're going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. Take a real look at your own financial life right now. Are you finally ready to stop trying to outsmart the market and start simplifying it? Because the Minimalist Blueprint is right in front of you. The only question is which single piece of friction you are going to eliminate first. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and we will definitely catch you next time.